In the name of Amen, the Supreme, the All-Powerful, the one and only true Lord, and Amen we trust, as the Republic of Mentellect, the true 144,000 being gathered in this day and time, the Mentellians. Menzeka Aminun to all of my Mentellian brothers and sisters out there, registered members of the Republic of Mentellect, and to all future Mentellians who have yet to find their way home to the Republic of Mentellect, which is the covenant of Amen. I send greetings out to you, and I send peace out to you in our Mentellian language by saying to you, Menzeka Aminun. Good evening. I'm your host, the intellectual Nuben Menkarayz, and this is Mentellect Radio. And tonight, we're going to be discussing why the Republic of Mentellect will go further than all of these black groups, these so-called black organizations of today, and even the ones they daring to set up tomorrow. The reason why we're doing this, and the reason why I'm doing this broadcast, is to, serve notice and let it be known that the Republic of Mentellect, though we are small and we are growing in size and number, that we will be that premier movement, that premier society, that premier community for tomorrow, for the Mentellians as a race. And we say that we will go further than all of these black organizations of the past is because, the reason why we say that is because we're not going to do and make the same mistakes that the other black organizations made. I'm going to say this right now. My mentors, the two great men who came before me, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the illustrious Dr. Malachi Z. York, two great men whose shoulders I stand on, they did great things in being forerunners to what I'm doing right now in the Republic of Mentellect, setting up community, right, giving our people a culture, a future, getting them to live for, of, and by each other. One mind, one body, one soul of people. And for that, they deserve all the accolades that I and everybody else can give them, even though, unfortunately, you have a lot of so-called black people today who try to demonize these great men, vilify them, and make them seem like they were bad people, when all they ultimately wanted to do was bring our people together as a real community, as a real covenant, and as a collective that were about the evolution of self and kind, the betterment, the greater of self and kind. Now, they may have chose certain, ways to do it. Excuse me. They may have chose certain ways to do it that was of their time, certain ways of thinking, beliefs, such as, religions such as Islam, Judaism, Egyptology, Masonry, Moorish science. Dr. York used some of that. They may have used these doctrines as a tool to gather the people because that's all they had that was available to them. Somebody asked me one time, they asked me a stupid question. They were, how can you uplift the Honorable Elijah Muhammad when he was dealing with Islam? I'm like, that's all the man had at the time. But obviously the man was sincere, and he was a true man of the Lord, Amen, the Most High, right? And he was truly seeking to raise his people. So how can you knock a man who was sincere and actually succeeded in doing what he had to do? Actually succeeded in cleaning up thousands among thousands of so-called black people in the hells of North America who were sick on drugs and, degeneracy, prostitution, all the things they were doing out here, our people did before the message of Islam through the Honorable Elijah Muhammad found them, right? He cleaned those people up and straightened those people out and gave them hope and a future for tomorrow, something to live for, a nation, a community, right? So I can never say anything bad about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad because, again, I stand on his shoulders, a great man such as him, insofar as, him doing what he did, making the ultimate sacrifice, putting his life on the line and whatnot, risking his family, to raise up a people. Now, people raise up our people. Now, people will say, well, he did it because it was about money and he wanted to be a leader and he wanted power. Well, tell me, when is your life? When is the wagering of your life, putting up your life, risking your life? When is that ever worth money? When is that ever worth power? or so-called power? When is that ever worth women or whatever you claim the messenger did it for? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad. When is it ever worth that? Because at the end of the day, what does all that mean if you get killed tomorrow by some jealous nutcase in your organization, right? Some emotional nutcase in your organization, or the damn devil, the damn white man, right? What does that mean if those people, go against you? You understand? It doesn't mean anything because you'll be dead. You can't live out that, live off that wealth or live off those, accolades or the women or the things you say the man was doing it for. So he was a sincere man of the Lord. And when I say the man of the Lord, I mean Amen, not no Allah. They use that name Allah because that's all they understood at the time. People have what they have at the time, and they work with what they got. And he worked with what he got. Islam through a form of Freemasonry, right? A Freemasonic version of Islam. That's what they was teaching in the Nation of Islam. So he worked with what he had. Same way with Dr. Malachi Z. York. He worked with the African thing, the Egypt thing, the Islam, the Christianity, and all these things going through these schools to raise the minds of the people in the community, to raise their minds, to make them stand together collectively and independent of the beast. That was the intention. That was the intention. I laugh at people when I say that's sad when they say, oh, the man did it because of money. Again, money, women, he wanted sex, he was a molester, all this nonsense they say about the man, right? And but yet he's sitting in a jail cell, right, and serving time for a crime he did not commit, right? All because of people, right? People who had mental issues, emotional issues, right? Same nonsense I have to deal with today. It sometimes comes floating into my community. People with mental problems, people with emotional problems, right? That I have to deal with from time to time. You understand that? That's what I got to deal with. And all great movements that are about the evolution of the people that are sincere, they're going to have to deal with this. But see, we built for this in the Republic of Mentellect, because I'm the first one to say that we're not catering to emotional and mentally dysfunctional black people. We're not doing that. We're not catering to and giving a hand up or a hand out to emotionally dysfunctional black people. Our mindset is to strengthen or grab the minds of our people who are strong, who are focused, who want to move to the next level collectively and move with them. We ain't got time to cater to nobody like these black organizations do. We ain't got time to cater to them. We ain't got time to tell you what you want to hear. You understand? Or waste time lying to you and telling you that politics is the problem. We need more politicians. We need more opportunities from the white man. We need more job training. We need more EBT cards and WIC and all this other nonsense. We need better education. We're not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that these things, once they are solved, can help us. We need more money. We need to get an economic plan. We're not going to sit here and sugarcoat and lie to you. See, because those are all lies. That's all false, and that's what all these black organizations constantly telling our people. We need to march for equality with the white man and other races. We need better jobs. We need more money. We need more education. We need better politics. No, we're not lying to our people. We're not lying to our people. We're telling the truth to the intelligent ones of our people who can handle it. The ones who are mentally strong. That's what we after. We're not trying to attract the mentally weak, even though sometimes we get them, as you heard last night. We attract sometimes the mentally weak, but that's not no fault of our own. They come here, either they want to strengthen themselves or they will show themselves to be who they are, mentally weak, right, and emotionally weak. So we catering to the mentally strong here. We're not grabbing up our so-called black people and playing the skin game and saying, oh, they look just like us, so they are brothers and sisters. No, we're not doing that. See, that's why a lot of black organizations fell off, and this is why a lot of so-called black organizations are stalled and they're not moving because they play the skin game. See, they play the skin game. Oh, you my black brother. Oh, you my black sister. Not knowing if that person's a black devil or not. Not knowing if that person's mentally dysfunctional, has ill intentions and whatnot, to want to destroy your organization from the inside out with gossip, with all kinds of innuendo and all kinds of nonsense and foolishness. You understand that? See, that's what you got to deal with. See, that's the things you deal with when you putting a movement together, putting an organization together. You got to have that all in mind. You got to count the cost when you're doing things like that. You got to understand that these are the type of people that you're going to come across. See, but we're not having it. We're not having it. And I say it from the door. I'm not telling people what they want to hear. I'm not sitting up here trying to stuff my organization, my community with rejects and mentally dysfunctional people and people with emotional problems just because I want some dues or some money like you think I'm about. Because I'm trying to get some money in my pocket and whatnot. Like a lot of these black organizations, especially the damn church, they'll take anybody. They'll take anybody in the church as long as you could pay tithes. Which makes me laugh when people say, "Oh, Nuben, you doing this for money?" I'm like, really? If I was doing it for money, I'd just take everybody. I open the door and take everybody. But the fact that I always tell people, don't even write letters, don't send no money, and don't send nothing to me, why would I do this for money? If I'm telling you not to send money, not to send a letter if you're not mentally right. We want the mentally strong with us. We want the emotionally, the ones who are emotionally in check with us. We don't want nobody sitting up in here who want to come up here and gossip and talk all kind of madness and people who halfway losing their mind. They was losing their mind in the world and they want to come in here and lose their mind and feed on other people's energy. We're not doing that. Are squarely focused on being a community, a real community, an intelligence community, not no black community, not no white community, not no mulatto community, an intelligence community. That's why we refer to ourselves as the bright race. And establishing an intelligence community of brighter bronze people, brighter bronze persons, right? Or as we say, the brighter bronze race, the intelligent bronze race, no more this black nonsense, this black foolishness, because nobody's black. There's no such thing as black people. That's some nonsense the white man made up, if y'all don't know that by now, much as I done said that. We're not establishing our community on no lies. We're not establishing our community on some belief. We're not establishing our community on some old, worn-out, outdated book, some Bibles, some Qurans, some Egyptian books of the dead. No. We're not doing that. We're not looking back. We're not looking back at what the ancestors said. You understand that? We're not doing all that. We're dealing with what Amen says going forward, what the Lord says, what our ascendants say. We're dealing with things going forward. Our bloodline, our ascendants, our way of thinking going forward. We are forward-thinking people. We ain't standing still and we ain't looking back. You understand? This is an intelligence community. This ain't no black community. Because there's no such thing as a black community. This is not a black community. This is an intelligence community. The Mentellian community. And this is for the evolution of self and kind, the supremacy of us, the Mentellians. We ain't looking back to black. We ain't looking back whining and crying with the white man, looking for him to give us something, telling him he owe us something, going to court with no funny damn hats on our heads, big red hats on our heads, what they owe us. We ain't looking for nothing from him, man. We're not looking for nothing from him. We ain't looking for no handout. We're going to do the work we need to do, form the associations we need to form amongst each other, and live for, of, and by each other going forward, raising the minds of our people, raising that race of supreme beings, that race of lords. That's what we're here to do. This is an intelligence community. And see, when certain black people make their way in here and they find out, no, we ain't catering to that black nonsense. You can't come in here and be quote unquote black. Then they get mad. Then they go out of here and slander, I'm a cult leader, I'm inky, I'm the devil, all this other foolishness. All this emotional, effeminate foolishness. going into. I'm not even gonna go into. I'm not gonna go into no rant. But I'm gonna just say going on Instagram, telling people to take their pages down when you no longer in the Republic of Mentellect, still bothering people. You understand? Trying to interfere with people, mad because you couldn't get it instead of just moving on with your pathetic lives. See, we're not catering to that type of behavior. See, in those other black organizations, they cater to those black, not other, but those black organizations, they cater to the mentally dysfunctional. They cater to the ones who damn near rode the damn emotional slow bus when they were children, who were raised by black females, not bright women, but black females. You know, we ain't catering to that. You're either going to grow up and be mature and work together as a community, or you're not going to be here. See, you don't tell the people that in those organizations. We are establishing a law and an order and code of conduct amongst the Mentellians. We are establishing a code of conduct, a law and order. You understand that? And those who don't fit in with it, they're not going to be here. We don't mind sacrificing people. You understand? We don't mind sacrificing people, sacrificing the burnt offering, aka the black ones that come in here. We don't mind doing that. See, your black organizations, they don't do that. They'll keep them people around because they want money from them, because they want the numbers. They want to say that, oh, see, look how many people is in my organization. But these people are a bunch of degenerates. They're a bunch of damn degenerates. We ain't doing that here. I said before, I'll get rid of half the people in here if they wrong, or damn near all of them if they wrong, and start again. I'm willing to do that because if it's not going to be done right, it's not going to be done at all. If it's not going to be done right, it's not going to be done at all. And I refuse to move what my people collectively have baggage in here, mentally weak baggage in here, with childlike mentalities, and that's going to slow us down. We heading somewhere. And where we're heading into that door of supremacy. See, because when you can steady the mind, when you can focus the mind, when you can discipline the mind as a collective body, you can accomplish anything. You can accomplish anything. I said, when I came to teach Mentellect, I'm not going to leave no stone unturned. It ain't going to be no mysteries. We're not sitting around here talking about somebody going to come out the sky in a spaceship to save us. The power is going to come through us. We ain't looking for nobody to come save us like a bunch of helpless females when Yahweh Shai come back. See, that's what's going to happen. No, we ain't looking for that. The power is going to come through us. The ones who are of the elect, the ones who are of Amen, the ones who's kept Amen in their memory and their minds and they vision and going forward in everything they do. They kept Amen first and stayed with this collective, stayed with this body of Amen, separated from everybody else, sacrificed everybody else in the degenerate world, in the dimension, in the 1, 2, 3 dimension. See, those are the people that's going to receive the power. The people who sacrifice their connections, their ties with the degenerate people of the 3-dimensional world. See, we willing to do that. We ain't up here talking about, oh, all of our people, and all of our people. No, ain't no our people. Ain't no our people. It's just us, the Mentellians, the Republic of Mentellect. And if that sound messed up, or yo, how this brother feel that? Because we dealt with you Negroes before. I come out of a world with you Negroes. I came out of organizations with Negroes. My organization had Negroes in it, so I know the Negro mentality. The Negro mentality is to slow things down, cause chaos, and cause confusion, rather than just leave or not even coming at all. That's the Negro mentality. It's a childlike, selfish, and immature mentality, and we're not catering to that. We don't give a damn what color you are, black, white, anything in between. We're not catering to that. So when I said we don't take black people in the Republic of Mentellect, or white people, or mixed race people, we take the brighter race, the brighter bronze race, the ones who are coming out of the black race. That made a lot of people scratch their head, and rightfully so. It should have made you scratch your head, because this ain't no black thing. This is a bright thing. And yeah, we do deal with the real topics, the real things at hand. Y'all don't, because like I said, y'all still under this impression that, oh, we needed some more money, we need some better jobs, we need some more education. Well, who are you asking for these things from? The same white man who you call the devil? You really think he gonna educate you or give you a job after a while or deal with you? Period. Y'all still that shows y'all got a childlike mentality because you still asking for them to do for you. You don't want to address the thing, the real issue, and that is that a lot of you are mentally dysfunctional. A lot of our so-called black people are mentally dysfunctional. They got mental problems. They got emotional problems. That's the real issue. Not no money. Money's not going to fix that. Education is not going to fix that. You understand that? Money and education is not going to fix that. Politicians are not going to fix that. Counseling is not going to fix that. What's going to fix that is separation from these weak-minded people and let them burn out on their own. You understand that? Because you put all your energy into counseling these weak-minded people, trying to pull them along, trying to tell them, look, we trying to do this, that, and the third. They always going to figure a reason to slow you down. They're always going to figure a reason to wear on your energy. They're always going to figure out a way to do that. They're always going to bring their sorry ways in here. They're always going to come with excuses on why they can't do this and why they can't do that. So the only answer to this is separation from these type of people. That's the only way to do that. See, these black organizations, they're not willing to do that. They want to cater to foolishness and stupidity. They want to cater to the people like that in the church. They want to cater to degenerates. They want to cater to homosexuals and lesbians. They want to cater to pedophiles. They want to cater to thieves and liars and club hoes. That's what they want to cater to. They'll let them come to the church and bring degeneracy in the church, go up the minds of the children. We're not doing that in here. We're not doing that. We're trying to establish ourselves as a real, intelligent, and moral community. Of course, we're going to have some black people that come in here, but they're going to eventually find their way out of here because, see, we don't got nothing to feed their demons. See, when you don't have nothing to feed the demons of the black race, they're going to eventually get away from you. When they don't have nothing to gossip about, even though they'll try and create some gossip or some double-mindedness, they'll try to create something to talk about somebody or be about something. They're going to try and create something, and when you don't feed that energy, they're going to eventually leave. Just like the parasite in your body. When you starve the parasite, what happened? The parasite want to leave up out of your body. Same way the parasites left up out of this republic. When we starve them of their double-mindedness, of their back talk, you understand? When we starve the people that we show we're not about that, they leave. They leave. They look to go somewhere else and spread that because that's what they all about. They about emptiness. And they prove that they knew this was the truth, that this was the ultimate truth that they couldn't handle because they still listen. They still listen. If I'm lying, why are you listening? They still listen. They still listen because they know it's nothing else. All these other black organizations, they done. They're done. They still talking about the same circular nonsense over and over and over again. Sovereignty, rights, the law, spaceships coming out of the sky, you know what I'm saying? Egyptian hieroglyphs, all kinds of irrelevant nonsense. Things that are not going to help us, help to evolve us in the future. That is not helping us. That's just things to entertain Negro mentalities. You know, because black people love to be entertained. They love culture. You understand? They love culture. They love costumes. They love reading a bunch of irrelevant ancient books about nothing, trying to relive the lives of a bunch of dead people. See, this is what you got to deal with in your so-called black organizations. You understand? This is what you got to deal with. People who not dealing with reality. This is the real reality. The real reality is fixing yourself, raising yourself up collectively amongst those who are looking to raise themselves up. Fixing the minds of our people, that's the reality. Fixing the way they think. You understand that? Fixing the way they think, how they receive transmission, how they receive reception and thought, how they are living that out. This is a mental problem. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was smart enough to see that. That's why he kept saying the black man and the black woman is mentally dead. You mentally dead. That means you're not receiving any transmission, any reception from the Most High. He knew that. Dr. York, he wrote the first book he wrote in 1967 was the Mind book. You understand? So obviously these two great men, my mentors, they obviously knew that it was a mental problem with the so-called black race. And they were the forerunners for what I'm doing today, which is to form an intelligence community. To form an intelligent community that is focused on raising the intelligence of our people as a race. As a race. So that we will not be erased. See, because if we don't move forward mentally, collectively, together, that's the end for us as a race. You've seen whole races of people perish. Why? Because really they wasn't a race, they was living as individuals. You understand that? Tribalism. We're doing away with the tribalism because every so-called black person got a tribal mentality, aka an individual mentality, or they about cliques. They little clique over here, they little clique over there, they little clique over there, and they eventually go against one another. That's a mental problem. Because when your mind is so decimated and pieced out on different things and whatnot, what happens? You putting all that energy into small things when you should be putting all that energy into the bigger picture. And see, they don't get to see the bigger picture because they remain mentally and emotionally immature. See, they remain mentally and emotionally immature. When they can't get their way, when they can't be demons, when they're not free to be demons, you tell them they can't gossip and you starve the demon, they want to turn around and slander you. They want to tear things apart when they coming out, when they leaving, because they got the mind. That's what children do. That's what destructive children do. They don't want to, black people, they don't want to deal with the fact that, like I said, the mass majority of our people got a childlike mentality. The mass majority of our people got childlike mentalities. Right? They are slow mentally. They are retarded mentally. They are mentally retarded. And when I say mentally retarded, I don't mean, as far as the I don't mean as far as the physical, retardation, as far as the slow movements and things like that. I'm talking about their minds cannot move forward. They're stuck in a certain way of thinking. So that's a form of mental retardation. Their minds can't move past nonsense and foolishness. Their minds can't move past that. All do is hold on to foolishness and stupidity. See, we're not catering to that. And even in this day and time to have this same argument about back and forth with white people, back and forth about rights, back and forth about police brutality, back and forth about like this guy gonna ask me on YouTube, yeah, brother, you ain't talking about what's been going on with the black community. First of all, there's no such thing as a black community. Let me stop you. There's no such thing as a black community. Never was. You can't be no community when y'all all think y'all all are on individuals mentally. You all have different ways of thinking, different doctrines, different belief systems, whatever. Like I said, that's not a community. That is a black disunity. You understand? You can't have no community when you got people in your community selling drugs all on the damn street, smoking crack, guys selling crack, running around drunk and high and whatnot, disorderly. You can't have no real community like that. You go to a Jewish community, you see if you see that in the so-called Jewish community. See if you see men running around high out their damn mind, smoked out, tattooed up, gauges in their ear, looking like a bunch of damn weirdos. Gauges. You understand? Big holes in their ear. The black man bugged out of his damn mind. You're not going to see that kind of lunacy and insanity in their community. And if they do, you ain't going to see it like that. They're going to hide it. They got enough sense to hide it. But you ain't going to see it. Because you can always have one or two odd jobs and nut jobs and thing. That's why you get rid of them. That's why you get rid of those people. That's what a intelligent community, an intelligent forward-thinking community do. They get rid of rejects, people that don't fit in, people that want to be fit out and come in and bring chaos and confusion, people who are caught up in people, place, and possession. You understand? Obsessed with people. Look at all them black people you got in your organization. Instead of worrying about the power, which is the collective. Because all the black people, like I said, done got up out of here for the most part. This is exactly why I said we don't take black people in the Republic of Mentellect. Because of this. They're not used to cooperating with each other. They're not used to working together. They're not used to not being petty and simple-minded. The mass majority. And I'm going to say it just like that. See, I'm not worried about sugarcoating my words and, oh, brother, how can you say that? Why you saying? I'm not your brother. If I gotta lie and I gotta spare your feelings, and I gotta lie to you, you're not my brother. My true brothers and sisters are the ones of truth that stand up for truth. You understand that? I'm always gonna stand up for the truth till I can't stand up no more. My people are gonna stand up for the truth. And those who stand up for the lies, they're going to be up out of here. See, that's the type of organizations you got, the so-called black organization you got here. You got a mixed bag of nuts in there where you got people that's degenerates, thieves, con artists, liars. They'll be in these black organizations because the black organizations will take them because they want their money. And again, that's funny to me how people claim I'm a con artist, I'm trying to take people money, I'm a hustler. Then why do I tell you don't join the Republican Mentellect? We don't want you in here if you like that. We don't want you in here if you're a degenerate. Why do I say the Republican Mentellect is not for black people if I want your money? If I want all the so-called black people money or money period, I would be like, come on in. We don't care. We ain't gonna have no laws and no order and no rules. That way we get all the degenerate blacks in here, and that way we can get all their money. If I was a hustler, all I got to do is remove the laws. All I got to do is say, well, you can wear hair on your face if you want to. You can smoke weed if you want to. You can have tattoos all over yourself if you want to. You could be a homosexual in here or a lesbian if you come in here. If I said all that, we have a whole the Republican Mentellect could be flooded. I'd be so flush with damn cash it'd be ridiculous. But people want to say I'm running a scam, I'm taking money. Then why would I turn money away? By me setting up law, order, and rules, I'm turning money away. Because you know black people are going to the damn church and they'll give up their whole damn paycheck just because they could go in there and be how they want to be. So it's never about money with them. Black people want to go someplace and feel free to be who they want to be. And if that's being a degenerate, so be it. If that is bringing chaos and confusion into an organization, so be it. They'll go anywhere they gotta go, and they'll spend all the money in the world. They'll be like $100 a month. That ain't nothing shit. I could get my tattoos in here. I could talk to as many women as I want to in here. I could have hair all over my face. I could talk about people. I could still smoke weed. I could still be a damn nigga and listen to monkey music. Oh hell yeah, I would join that. And that's why a lot of you people ran over there to the Nuwapians. That's why you ran over there to the Nuwapians. See, because there ain't no rules with the Nuwapians. Ain't no rules. All you got to do is put a damn fez on. You understand? And read some books that they claim Dr. York wrote. You understand? Ain't no rules with them. See, when Dr. York was out here in the street, there was rules. There was order when he was out here. Y'all wouldn't have dared went over there. Now you want to play phony like you so much into Dr. York's teachings on the Wapo. The hell out of here with that foolishness. You only want to go somewhere where you could go hide and go back to being niggas again, but yet you still want to read books and act like you deep and heavy. You understand that? Bunch of damn hypocrites. We're not catering to that. See, there's rules here. There's law here. There's an order here. And yes, we are establishing it. Yes, we are establishing it. Yes, we are building it. Because we got some fools that actually came in here talking about, oh, I've been in the Republic for a year, and I don't see them doing nothing. I don't see no buildings. Only a goddamn fool would come into an organization and expect to see buildings and community and things like that in over a year. In a year? When you come into a community, your mindset is, I'm here to stay. I'm here to be part of the community. I want my children raised in this. That should be your mindset. Not let me come in and see, and if I don't like it, I could leave. That should never be your mindset. You playing games. See, we don't cater to people that play games. You're supposed to come into something that means you counted the course, and you say, you know, I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to live this, and I'm going to live this life. This ain't, oh, I'm going to see if I'm really a Mentellect, or I don't want to be a Mentellect. I still listen to this stuff, but I'm not with the organization. No, you playing games, man. You still want to be a nigga, but then you still halfway want to be listen to the knowledge too. But you don't want to have to pay for somebody to tell you what to do. We're not catering to those weak minds. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. See, these black organizations, they'll do that. That's why they falling. They wondering why there's no growth in their organizations, because they cater to too many black people. They cater to too many degenerate Negroes. They cater to too many overweight, stuffed Negroes who don't want to get on diets, who don't want to live right, don't want to eat right, don't want to cheat their people, want to be degenerates. But they'll take these people because they got money, and it means numbers. It means numbers and money. We don't care about that. The Republic going to build regardless, but it's going to build with the right people, and the wrong people will go. That's why I set strict laws. That's why I set the laws to be strict. That's why I put the $100 a month up there, because I know Negroes ain't going to want to pay that after a while. That's why I did it. That was to get people out of here. You understand? And keep people out, to discourage them. See, because you got to be mentally strong to be in something like this. You got to be, I said yesterday, you got to be a mental soldier for the power that we're about to inherit. And that's that mental power, that telepathy, psychometry, clairvoyance, intuition, levitation. That's all mental power. You can't have weak-minded people in here getting that. You can't have weak-minded people with you when you stand there and inherit that kind of power. You can't have those kind of people. So you got to make sure you create parameters. You create barriers to keep those people out. Everything I've been doing was really to create barriers to keep them type of people out. But they always going to still find their way in somehow. They'll find their way in until they get tired of being phony, they get tired of faking, and then they'll leave. But make no mistake about it, we ain't catering to them. That's why I say when people leave, I'm like, bye. Bye. Why would I have that mentality if I'm trying to take people money? I'd be trying to convince you, come on, brother, why you leaving? Don't give up. Come on, sister, don't leave, don't give up. I'm like, bye. But I thought I was trying to take people money and I'm running the cult. But that's what the immature, childlike people who was in here said, because, like I said, like babies that who couldn't raise to the occasion mentally because they were riding the slow emotional bus, and they like babies that couldn't raise up and be adults mentally and come into this thing and make it about the community and not about individual people. They couldn't do that. So then now I'm the devil. I'm Inky. I'm the devil. I'm Satan incarnate because I established rules here. Well, I'll be your damn devil. I'll be your Inky. I'll be the whoever you want me to be. I'll be the most evilest person on the planet if it keeps people like you out of here. See that? See, because we're not going to go the way of these black organizations where there's no progress. Everything is stagnant. You understand? We're teaching a bunch of old, dead teachers. The only reason why I'm sending these teachings of Mentellect through me because I'm willing to sacrifice the old for the new. That's why I'm sending it, because my mindset is always to sacrifice the old for the new, for the next. You understand that? If I was stuck in, we're going to do the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead, we're going to read from the Mentellect, we're going to read from the Akashic Records, we're going to read from this scroll or that scroll, and we're going to talk about a bunch of irrelevant BS and whatnot, or we're going to talk about the spaceships coming to drop off Jesus or the Messiah, or all that stuff you Negroes like to have your minds blown with that you'll pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for, because I could have did that if I was about the money. No, we're not doing that. We're not here to blow minds. We're here to change lives. You understand? That's the biggest mind blower, when your life gets changed, when you evolve, when you start really receiving that power on earth. That's going to come to the Mentellians, because we fashioned ourselves to receive that power. We fashioned ourselves. We gave up things. We gave up people in our lives to receive that. And those of you who have not done it, you're going to be required to do that. And if you're not going to do it, if you're walking with me, you're going to be told to leave. Because we already know what's coming. We know what's coming. You understand that? Why you think people starting to listen more and more to us every day? Facebook blocking out our shows, don't want us to post shows on Facebook in different groups because they don't want this message to spread, man. They obviously heard the message. They obviously heard a few shows, and they didn't like what they heard. And I wasn't up here calling white people devils and all this other stuff. See, they okay with stuff like that. But when you start talking about raise the minds of so-called, quote-unquote, former black people and raise them to a level collectively together, not as individuals but together, that is a problem. That is a problem. That is what J. Edgar Hoover said when he said we have to be mindful of the black Messiah that's going to come to electrify the minds of the people. See, that sets off bells. You understand? And he wasn't talking about no Martin Luther King or no Malcolm X. You understand? That was a future prophecy he was talking about. Or else he would have just named those two as the ones he was making reference to. They knew that was coming. That somebody was going to come and bring future prophecy to raise the minds of the chosen. He used the word electrify, elect. You understand? As in charge, to give power to. They even know. They know what you Negroes are slow to understand. That we're not going to keep going around in circles with you. We're not going to keep going around in circles with these damn Caucasians. We're not going to keep going around in circles hearing foolishness and stupidity. We moving on. We're not going to keep moving in circles with the same emotional problem, the same mental problem, which is you Negroes just can't move on. You just can't move on. You can't extend yourself past that three-dimensional state. You just can't do it. But we taking the ones who can. We taking the ones who can, the ones who willing to push past that. This community is going to be built on strong minds, not poor excuses. I'm going to say it again. This community is going to be raised on strong minds, not poor excuses. Strong minds, not poor excuses. See, that's what your black community is, black disunity is made up of. Your black organizations are made up of a bunch of poor excuses for people. You understand? Weak and impotent people. With excuses, 1,000 excuses on why you ain't got no school. Y'all been around 40, 50 years, or you've been raising up hundreds of thousands of dollars, but yet you ain't got no schools for your children. You having million-man marches and whatnot in the middle of D.C., but you come away with nothing. You don't have no money to you don't have no money to educate your children. You talking about, oh, we should educate our baby. How are we gonna educate? You know, you had all that money there to educate your to build schools for your children, or support Umar Johnson if that's what he claimed he wanted to do. Nobody did that at the Million Man March. They wanted to just go there and spend money and consume. They wanted to go there and spend money and consume and hear a bunch of speeches. That is the mentality of the black race. That's why these black organizations don't go nowhere, because they're not about business. They're not about seriousness. They're not about the most important thing you got on this planet today, and that's your babies, your children. They're not even about that. Like I said, you sacrifice your children every day unto the beast. You so-called black power revolutionary Negroes in these RBG groups, but you're taking your children to the white man's public school system, yet you call him the devil. You call him the devil. You ain't saying, well, won't we all get together and pool money and start educating our children, build our own little school, even if it's starting an apartment or something like that, and we hire a sister to come teach our babies. You're not concerned about that. You're not concerned about that. You're concerned about going to the Million Man March and spending a bunch of money with the vendors and listening to a bunch of speeches about nothing. You understand? You're not concerned about your most precious asset, your children. So how the hell anybody going to take you seriously? We concerned about our babies, even our future ones. Because everything, when I talk about Armin, that's about the future. Armin is talking about the future, about the babies, about the ones that come forward. These black organizations not talking about that. When you hear them talking about the future, you tell me. You hear these black organizations, how many of them talking about the future? How many of them talking about the future, what we're going to do in 20 years, 10 years, 20? That's no time from now. You know why you don't hear that? Because they don't think that on that level. They don't think on that level. They think the white man going to keep taking care of them. They really believe that. They really think the white man going to keep educating their children. They think they're going to keep going back and forth with the white man about how they want equality. They think they're going to keep going back and forth talking about metaphysics, string theory, Scientology, Masonry, Nuwapu, the Jesus, the Lord. They think they're going to keep having the same circular conversation. Oh, we Native Americans, we Indians now. The white man owe us land. We got these treaties signed. These Negroes actually think the white man going to give them something. That's that sense of self, that self-entitlement nonsense. They really think the white man going to give them something. How you going to take people like this seriously? You got a whole organization, you Moors, the whole organization built on believing that the white man going to give you something. Y'all not living in reality, man. You're not living in reality. You don't deal with reality because you really believe, and you still, a lot of you Negroes who talk all this black nonsense, you still trust in the beast, man. In the beast you trust, man. In the beast you trust. You understand? In the beast you trust. Even these Negroes that was amongst me who left up out of here, in the beast they really trust. Because they ran back out of here. If they really thought this was their last viable option and it was to build this community, they would have stayed and built the community and just sucked it up and been like, yo, I'm going to relax them demons in me and I'm going to put that energy into helping build this community and I'm not going to be slandering and backbiting and whatnot. But they went back amongst the beasts. Because, see, they can always go back to the beasts and get their jobs, get their money, do whatever they're going to do and be degenerates again. So this community wasn't viable to them because, like I said, the beast could give them some money to get that they're gonna turn around and give back to him anyway, like good damn slaves. They could still buy their weed, they still could buy their liquor, they could still be the females could still go out here and be sluts. You understand? No law, no order. That's why the beast makes these black organizations. You know, he caters even to the so-called black organizations. You understand? He caters to these black organizations. Much as y'all claim y'all hate the white man so much or he the devil, like I said, you ain't going to stop going to his schools, though. You ain't going to stop that. You ain't going to stop going to his stores. You ain't going to stop going and catering to his, catering to and giving your money to him that he give you that you give right back. See, y'all got the perfect relationship. He lets you beef. He lets you argue. He lets you talk, have your so-called freedom in his kingdom for now, where you can go and be about Egypt and Africa and put on dashikis and go watch Black Panther and all that foolishness. You understand? He lets you off the slave chain just a little bit. You understand? He gives you a little bit of liberties. That's what he gives to you black organizations. He gives y'all some liberties. He lets y'all protest a little bit. He lets y'all have TV shows. He make you think you let you free and that you citizens of America and all that. But like I said, y'all in for a rude awakening. You in for a rude awakening. See, because those who chose the beast over Amen, those of you who chose your jobs, chose your boyfriend, your girlfriend, chose your degenerate mindset, your weak mind over this covenant that's being built, you're going to pay for that. People talking about, oh, you trying to scare people, Newbin. You trying to scare people. Why am I trying to scare people? The scare tactics. What scare tactics? Don't listen to me. I ain't got to scare people. All I'm doing is speaking reality. What scare tactics? I'm not trying to scare nobody. All you got to do is tune me off. Don't listen to me. If you don't think I'm telling the truth, because see, it's not that I'm trying to scare people. It's the fact that the truth that I'm saying scares you. Tell me I'm using scare tactics. Scare tactics for what? I don't want you to join the Republic of Mentellect. I don't want you to join the Republic of Mentellect. It ain't that I'm using scare tactics. It's that I'm telling the truth and you scared of the truth. The truth of the matter is, like I said, all these black organizations, like I've been saying, and the so-called black man are finished. And the black woman. The black female and the black male, y'all finished, man. Y'all only hoping your last hope was the Republic of Mentellect. But y'all are too stupid to see that. You still want to keep going in circles? When the only viable thing that was bringing us together as a community was Mentellect and Amen, and y'all chose not to do that. But like I said, that's why I said earlier along in the game, this ain't for black people. And just by me saying that, y'all shouldn't be scared of nothing, because if you feel I'm telling lies, you feel I'm trying to hustle you, I'm trying to scare you, or don't listen to me. Why are you still listening? Why are you still listening? You shouldn't listen to me. If you feel, I done told you it's not for you, y'all already finished. I already disregarded y'all. I'm just using you as an example of what I'm talking about. Because a lot of you that mentality that I'm speaking of, that degenerate, low-level mentality in these black organizations. They're in these black organizations. Because they can hide in these black organizations. They could go in there and hide. They could put on a fez. They could put on a robe. They can pick up a Bible and read out of it. They can pick up the Egyptian Book of the Dead. They can do all that stuff. They can go and say black power, put on all black, red, and green, but that's still not going to fix their mental problem. It's still not going to fix their mental deficiency. It's not going to fix that. And when you guys are 20 years down the line and you're trying to wonder, well, damn, how come our Black Power organization didn't go nowhere. Well, damn, how come we ain't get nothing? Damn, we've been doing this for 20 years, they ain't went nowhere. It's because you got a group of degenerates with you. You got a bunch of mentally dysfunctional people with you, and y'all don't want to address that. You want to just play the skin game. We all black. Oh, don't worry about it, brother. We'll get it together. We all black. We all black men. We all got problems out here, but you're not addressing them. You're not addressing them. You don't know how to address them. You're not addressing them, and you're not fixing them. That's the issue. You got a lot of effeminized so-called black men out here, black males out here, who got effeminate energy, and that's in the majority of these black organizations. You got these effeminized black males out here who emotional as hell. You understand? And that's a big problem. That's why your organizations are not going anywhere. You don't want to address that feminine. I'm not going to say feminine energy, because if the feminine energy is the real energy in a woman, I'm going to just say the effeminate energy. I'm going to call it the effeminate energy. Right? That artificial feminine energy that's pumping through the veins of a lot of these black males out here who trying to act like they badasses. That effeminate energy. You understand? That Eve-seeded energy. You understand? That's the problem with a lot of these black organizations. That's why Mentellect is going to last. Because like I said, Mentellect is going to be built by real men and real women. And anybody who ain't real over time, they're going to go. That's why I say I don't care about the people who not real in here, because they're going to leave anyway. And they're going to be replaced by stronger foundation, stronger frames, stronger levels. And that's a beautiful thing. Because when you say this, when you say mentally, you're going to be like, oh, them brothers are strong. Oh, them sisters are strong. They mentally strong. They physically strong. Like how people used to look back at the nation in the old days when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was alive. They looked at the Muslims and they revered the Muslims because of their discipline, because of their strength. You understand? Their mental strength, the men and the women. They were revered because of their strong family values. That's how the Republic of Mentellect is going to look. Over time, as we getting things together, straightening out our men and our women, making sure we're getting the black bugs out, the emotional ones out, making sure we making our house Negro-proof, black-proof, because we had to get rid of quite a few black people recently. You understand that? And that's going to be an ongoing process, because the black are going to always be attracted to the light of the bright ones. They're always going to be attracted to it. They're always going to come amongst the bright ones and whatnot and try to suck energy. You understand? They like mosquitoes. They like solar mosquitoes. I call them solar mosquitoes. I call them solar mosquitoes because they want to come and suck the soul or suck the bright energy out of the bright ones and whatnot to put into their dead frames, into their dead spiritual frames. Just like the damn mosquito. The mosquito want to come around you and suck your blood, suck your life, suck your energy. And when you starve the mosquito, when you can't give the mosquito nothing to suck on anymore, they're going to go someplace else. Thus, the exodus of these Negroes out of the Republic. You understand that? The weak-minded. We ain't catering to that. And people get mad at me because we not. People actually got a nerve to get angry with me because I won't cater to weak-minded people. I'm hard on weak-minded people. Very hard. So hard because I want you to leave. That's why I'm hard on the weak-minded, so you can leave. If you come amongst us, your mind got to be all about the collective, about the power. It can't be about people, place, and possession. They got to be about the power, the collective. If that's not going to be your mind is not going to be on the collective, on the power, on the personification and the supremacy of this community, then you got to go. See, like I said, you could go to the black organizations because they'll take you. The black organizations will take you. They'll accept you because as long as you got money to buy books, pay dues or whatever, or give offerings or charity or however many times they pass the plate around, they'll take you. And you a body. You represent a body. You represent a number. So now they can say, oh, that's right. See, brother, we got 10,000 members. See, we got 20,000 members. But how many of those people, that 20,000 are viable people? How many of them are mentally strong people? How many of them are functional people, not mentally dysfunctional people? I dare to say not many, but see, they'll take that, right? They'll take those people because they want the numbers. Because you know how black people are. When black people see a whole bunch of people somewhere, they automatically assume, oh, well, what they saying must be good because there's a whole lot of people there. But you got to start re-examining and looking at things again when you look at these black organizations, because 9 times out of 10, the reason why there's a lot of numbers is because they don't have no standards and they don't have no morals, and they'll take anybody. You know, black people will flock to any place where they accept it. If they accept homosexuals, lesbians, trannies, weirdos, all kind of stuff like that, you know black people are going to come to it. Degenerates, people where there's no judgment, because you know Negroes hate judgment. You know they hate to be judged. Why are you judging me? You understand? Why you only God could judge me. And these niggas said they don't even believe in no God. They just trying to escape the judgment. That's really all that is. See, we dealing with things raw and uncut, up in your damn face, real things. See, the Negroes, the black people, they want to deal with fake things, fantasy things. I told you what they want to deal with. They want to deal with Egypt, Africa. They want to deal with fantasy and irrelevant things. Egypt, Africa, the Mentellect, the Bible, the Quran, you know, Black Power, and all this other foolishness. Wakanda, the damn Wakanda dance. They want to talk about the Wakandan diaries and whatnot, some damn fictitious place in Africa. Some foolishness like that. This is what they got their minds on. This is what they got their minds on. Then you wonder why the white man is winning. You wonder why. You wonder why. I don't wonder why. I already know why. That's why I said we left the black race a long time ago, man. I left the black race a long time ago. Because you start to realize things when you have the soul in you to want to succeed, when the soul, mind, body, and soul is in you to want to succeed, and you want that power and you want that connection with the Most High, then like I said, you start to supersede, and you start to transcend all that black nonsense. You start to transcend all that. You start to realize it for what it is, and that's a bunch of slave-minded nonsense. You're going to let the white man tell you black, and thus you are beneath him. That's the mentality of you Negroes. The ones who question me so hard about what I teach, they would have never questioned the white man. They would have never questioned him about what he do with their money. Never. You understand? They would have never questioned him because they're not going to question their slave master. Never. But they'll question me because, like I said, sometimes I feel like Harriet Tubman sometimes. You know, when you're trying to free the slaves, some of the slaves are going to go with you because they want to really be free. And then you got some slaves that want to stay on the plantation, on the mental plantation, and still serve the beast, a.k.a. cater to their three-dimensional wants and desires of people, place, and possession. They want to stay there. They don't want to be about the power, which represents the collective. They don't want to be about that. When I try to take them to that, they ready to fight me tooth and nail. They want to call me every name in the book. You understand? I'm a cult leader, right? I'm evil. I'm trying to mess up people's minds, trying to take people's money, everything in the book. Because, like I said, that's what little girls do. Effeminate males and mentally dysfunctional females when they can't get their way. And we're not catering to that. So, like I said, I'll be all of that. I'll be all those things. No problem. No problem. We'll be right back. See, again, when we cater to the mentally strong. We don't cater to the mentally weak because organization is only as strong as its weakest link. And like I said, you got a lot of weak links in these black organizations. That's why they're not going to last. You're talking about things that are irrelevant, topic of discussion, and a new day in a society that is ever evolving, that is ever changing. You're still talking about the same 20th century things. You're still talking about the same stagnant 20th century things. We're in the 21st century, right? We're in the 21st century still talking about the same things. Y'all don't think that this is a pattern where the white man constantly keeps you rotating in the same submental pool of nonsense, this three-dimensional pool of nonsense, and y'all never think past that. A lot of these so-called black organizations, they're really meant to keep you in a black mind frame. A lot of them are really meant to keep you in a black mind frame. What do I mean by that? They want to keep you going back and forth with the white man. They want to keep you going back and forth talking about history and, what happened in the past. We don't heard it all before. Can we move on? Can we move on? A lot of them are not here to help you move on. A lot of them are here to keep you stagnant. A lot of these black organizations are here to keep pushing the same old narratives. A lot of them are bought off by the beast to keep you in that same stagnant mind frame, to keep talking about the same things that they know deep down inside are not the problem. They want to keep talking about politics, sovereignty, racism, police brutality, all these things that they want to keep talking about in the society that are not going to change. The only way you're going to be able to change these things is by changing yourselves. You want to go to the white man, you're looking for change to come from him, you're going to be wasting your time. You going to him and telling him about what sovereignty, what rights you got, what land you got. They're not trying to hear that. They're not trying to hear that. You want to go to them and talk about how unfair the education your children getting, that their children are getting, how unfair it is, how unequal it is. They don't care about that. All that's done purposely. You want to keep talking about equality and and gender bias and whatever nonsense they got y'all talking about now. Y'all so dense that now you don't even see these black organizations not even concerned about, nor are they fighting for so-called black people rights no more. They more concerned with homosexuals and lesbians and their rights. They more concerned with that. You understand? They more concerned with fighting for the rights of degenerates. That's what they're concerned with. That's what their agenda is. Right? That's it. Or they want to just give a whole bunch of information. And like I said, some of these people do mean well. Some of these grassroots people mean well. But again, meaning well does not always translate into being successful. Meaning well does not necessarily translate into being successful, hitting the nail right on the head. And the only way you're going to hit the nail on the head is to deal with it from a mental focus, from a mental focal point. You understand? You got to focus on the strong-minded people who actually want answers, who actually want results, who want to raise mentally, who are into that who are into or focused on the higher mental capability. Because, see, that's not abstract anymore. Talking about telepathy, psychometry, clairvoyance, intuition, all these higher mental capabilities, that's not something that's abstract anymore. It's becoming more and more clear. More and more clarity is being brought to that. More and more people are starting to inherit that energy, that mental energy. More and more people are doing it, and it ain't going to come to no undisciplined, weed head, tattoo head, gauge wearing Negroes. Some spoiled two-dimensional, three-dimensional Negroes. That's not coming to them. See, because in order for you to have that type of power, in order for you to have that type of power at your fingertips, you have to be a fourth-dimensional thinker. And the only way to be a fourth-dimensional thinker is you have to be about the power. You can't be about the people, place, and possessions. In other words, you can't come into an organization and talk about all the black people in that organization. You got to be about the organization. And when I say you got to be about the organization, you got to be about the long-term continuation of the organization. You'll let the blacks or whoever you focus on, you let them fall out gradually. That'll all fall out gradually. You're supposed to be concerned about the long-term continuation and the growth of the organization. Not focusing on people. That's not how you do that. You focus on the organization, the movement, the community, and making yourself a part of it and asking, what can I do to make a real contribution? I'm not talking about no money. I'm talking about a real contribution on what you can do to continue and extend the community. That's what you do. You don't focus on the negative things because the negative things are being used obviously for a reason until they can't be used anymore, like I said. But you got too many people focusing on small things. Small-minded people focus on small things. And we don't need small-minded people. The small-minded people are in these black organizations where they belong. The small-minded people are in these black organizations where they belong. And we want them to stay there. See, because the mentally strong ones, they're going to be in the Republic of Mentellect. They're going to be here. I have no doubt about that. The mentally strong ones are going to be here in the Republic of Mentellect. The ones who are going to inherit that power of Amen on earth and be that Amen race on earth. And there will not be no Amen beings or any Mentellians outside the Republic of Mentellect. It will be no Mentellians and no ones of Amen who smoking weed, tattooing themselves, putting gauges in their ears, being sluts and whores and whatnot, backbiting and gossiping. Those are not Mentellians. Those are a bunch of fake Mentellians. Those are people who are not part of our community. There won't be Negroes on the outside wearing Mentellian names and whatnot and claiming Mentellian names, but then still talking that black nonsense. Those are the mentally dysfunctional people. We're not here to cater to them. We're not here to cater to their mental dysfunction. We're here to cater to that upper mental capability that we're going to inherit on earth, as promised to us by Amen, because we got and how we know that's factually true is because it's already happening. We done already saw stuff already. We already know we're breaking into another dimension. We already know. It's already happening. A lot of people don't experience things. I've been experiencing things since 2013. I've been seeing this. Why do you think I keep going? Because people always say, damn, the Republic of Mentellect still around. They still around. Them people still around. The guy Newbin's still around teaching and whatnot. Yeah, you know why? Because Newbin sees the bigger picture. See, Newbin don't shape the picture of the organization of the community around what some Negroes got to say. The ones who calling me a cult leader, the ones who trying to discourage me, the ones who telling me I'm just a Negro, I'm black, and she basically doing the bidding of the damn beast of the white man. You understand? Whether they paid agents or not, trying to discourage me. Like I said, I don't listen to Negroes, nor do I listen to damn Caucasoids. I don't listen to them. I just keep doing the work. I do the work of Amen. I answer to a higher authority. And the ones who are really going to be in the Republic of Mentellect are also going to answer to that authority. And those who have no clue on what that authority is, they think that Newbin is the ultimate authority. You know, Amen is the ultimate authority, and Newbin is just an instrument of Amen. And those who are in the Republic of Mentellect are going to be instruments of Amen. And we are instruments of Amen based on that mental capability and power that we're going to inherit on earth as the next judges, if we discipline ourselves and if we sacrifice those who are of the low mentality, of the submental influence. If we sacrifice them, and I tell you all the time, those are the greatest sacrifice you can make, you Mentellians, you real Mentellians in the Republic of Mentellect, registered members in the Republic of Mentellect. The greatest sacrifice you can make unto Amen is to sacrifice your association and ties with these three-dimensional blacks, these low-minded three-dimensional blacks, these people, place, and possession blacks. These Negroes. That's the greatest sacrifice you can make to Amen. And then you can come into the Republic of Mentellect. Then you can come into the Republic of Mentellect and live this life as a real Mentellian, because we had fake ones here. The fake are going to leave. Like I said, the fake ones could stay within the black organizations because the black organizations are fake. They phonies. So the fake ones could stay amongst other fake ones. They fake ones are going to stay amongst the real ones. They're going to leave. They're going to find some reason to leave. They'll claim it's, oh, you just want the money, or the people. Like I said, people, place, and possession. They'll always bring it back to the reason why they're not participating and cooperating and being part of this community, of this covenant, is because of, oh, I don't like the people. Oh, you want something. Why you want our money? You know, this, that, and the third. What you doing with the money? They're always back to people, place, and possession. Always back to that. And we're not catering to that. We're not catering to them. The black organizations cater to that kind of business. That's why they're not going nowhere. They cater to mentally dysfunctional people, crybabies, weak people. Your black organizations are full of weak people, weak-minded people. Weak-minded people who want to hug. They want to hug. They want to be understood. You understand? They want to be heard. You understand that that's what they want? You understand? That's what they want. They want to be. They want to be coddled. You know how many people done told me, like the other day, Newbin, see, why you? I had guys in here actually tell me stuff like, Newbin, you are not understanding how the brothers feel. Bro, Newbin, you just so hard. You don't understand how the brothers be feeling. You don't understand. Newbin, why you gotta be such a narcissist? Newbin, why you got effeminate talk from males. And like I said, a lot of these black organizations are full of effeminate males. You know, too much estrogen going through their veins, pumping through their veins. I don't care how hard they act, but if you whining about somebody else, if you always whining about somebody else, or whining about some condition, or whining about some money, or whining about that what you don't got, you weak. You weak. And you cannot continue a community on weakness. We about the community, man. We about the community. We about not just us. We about our babies, our grandbabies establishing something. Not being divided. That's what this is about. That takes strong minds to do that. That takes a strong mind. That's why my hat is off to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and to the illustrious Dr. Malachi Z. York because of what they had to go through, because I'm going through it. I'm going through it. They had to go through it for 40 years. I'm gonna have to go through it for my next 30 some odd years. I got to go through this. I'm gonna have to go through this for the next 30 years. But we're gonna have something out of it. We're gonna have something greater than when we started. And we're going to influence the next movement. Mentellect is going to keep influencing and keep reverberating. That's the payoff, because it's all about what we're going to do in the future, the reverberation that we make in the future. We ain't interested in now. We interested in the future. That's all I think about is the future. That's all I'm living for. I'm not living for nothing else. I don't care about what these people say about me in this moment, because these moments are fleeting. They passing. Y'all don't pitch your foundation of your organizations in the past, a past that don't exist no more, or you done pitch them in a present that's constantly fleeting. We put our foundation in the future, which is constantly coming. So therefore, we are constantly coming forward. That's why we're going to outlast all these black organizations, because we are about the future, and the future alone. The future is constantly coming, just as we're going to be coming and evolving and growing. As the Mentellians, no longer known as the black race, no longer known as Negroes, no longer known as niggers and all this other foolishness that you got from the damn white man, no longer known as Africans or African American, all that nonsense you got from the white man. Now you Indians now. That's what I'm talking about. Slave mentality. We don't have a slave mentality in the Republican Mentellect. And anybody who got a slave mentality, anybody who is caught up on people, places, and possession, you got a slave mentality. See, we're not caught up on it. We caught up on the power of Amen, the collective, venerating and raising Amen in us. That's what we focused on. We ain't interested in the people, place, and possessions. You understand? We not. I'm not. Because you can't raise nothing based on that. You can't build nothing based on that. You can't sustain anything based on that. I'm going to take a phone call. We're back. 843. 843. 843. Okay, nothing on 843. All right. People need to take the echoes off of their phone. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, brother, why you talking about the black organizations? Just do what you do, brother. You ain't got to talk about nobody and whatnot. I said, and I'm going to repeat, when I speak about the black organizations, it's not being done from a malicious standpoint. I'm not being malicious. I'm not being mean-spirited, right? I'm not doing it for that. I'm using them as an example of what I'm talking about, because if they're putting their work out here and they saying that they're about the evolution, or they for black people, black organizations and whatnot, then we have to look at what is progressive in the long run for us as a people. What is most expedient for us to, plan for us to have and do to move forward as a people. We can't have people who are just, they mean well and they think that what they're doing is helping us, talking about the Bible and Jesus and Allah and Jehovah and metaphysics and meta-neter and Kundalini science and all this other nonsense. That's not helping us. Those are fake, artificial, spiritualized, watered down, impotent forms of false power. All of it is. You know why? Because we've been there and done all that. Y'all was talking this Kundalini spirit, this black consciousness, this Pan-African thing, this Moorish thing. Y'all was talking about that back in the 1900s. Y'all was talking about that 50 years ago, 40 years ago, 60 years ago. Y'all was talking like that. Now here it is, we 18 years into the new millennium, and y'all still talking like that, and ain't nothing got done yet. So I think it's time for the next generation to come, for the children to come that's coming in the next generation to have something that they could really come together under a real community that they can come together under. Because that's why I do this. I do this for the babies, the ones who come in after us. It's all about the reverberation of this tone and frequency that we set right now in this organization, in this movement, in this community. That's what I'm doing this for. I'm not interested in doing it for a bunch of people trying to cater to a bunch of timely and a bunch of temporary people, trying to cater to them, trying to entertain them, or trying to capture their attention. I'm not interested in that. What we do for the future. We do for the babies, man. That's what I do this for. See, while y'all was doing this Ashen and Hotepin and Black Power and all this other nonsense, you lost a whole generation of babies, man. Or when you was out here getting high, smelling, all the things that you did to neglect your duties as parents, as teachers, as elders, as leaders, all the nonsense that you got caught up in, you know, the things that stopped you from being viable role models for the children. That's the reason why we lost them to this shit hop. I'm gonna just I try not to encourage, but I said call it what it is, shit hop, and all of this degenerate nonsense that's going on here. Nicki Minaj and Jay-Z and twerking and Rick Ross and whatever the hell else, and porn or whatever the hell y'all want, gay and lesbian. The reason why we lost a generation to this degeneracy, to this madness, drinking cough syrup, to tattooing themselves up, to cutting holes and gauges in their ear, basically being a bunch of demons and degenerates. The reason why you lost a whole generation from 18 years old now up into their 30s, up into 35, 36 years old, the reason why we lost a whole generation because y'all was focused on the most unimportant things. You was focused on the people, places, and the possessions. You was focused on getting money, chasing money to give back to the white man. Cars, getting apartments, getting houses, all kind of material things, and figuring that you can buy your way out of the problems of your people by acquiring material possessions, and it didn't help. You thought that by focusing on irrelevant things like Jesus and Yahweh and Yahweh Shah and Meta Netel and ancient Egypt and being an atheist or being a religious person or whatever the nonsense y'all focused on, or so-called chasing a fake education, or all the stuff y'all focused on. You so-called black people focus on the society and build organizations behind talking about economics and finances, so you can take that money you make when y'all get into business and give right back to white men, because y'all damn sure ain't gonna build no schools for your children. We already know that. We already know you're not going to take responsibility for educating your children. You're going to let the white man do that and then turn around talking about he the devil. We already know you're not doing that. So if you're not willing to do the bare minimum within these black organizations and focus on that which is important, which is your babies, then that's why y'all not going to last long, man. Y'all on y'all way out right now. Your children are being raised up as degenerates, man. Your children are coming out degenerates. If they hanging out with a bunch of degenerates, they degenerates. They listen to this monkey music, trap music nonsense or whatever. This is what you raising. What they say, a tree is known by the fruit that it bears. So if you bearing that kind of fruit for the future, then it's a sign that your black power, black movement, so-called fake black communities have not been working. That's a sign that they have not been working. But we're gonna make ours work. We're going to make our community work. We're going to make the Mentellect community work, the Republic, no matter what y'all got to say about it. No matter what y'all think about it. No matter whether you like me or dislike. I could care less. I can care less. We're not going to accept mental dysfunction. We're not going to accept it from ourselves or nobody else. We're not accepting that. We're going to strengthen ourselves in the name of Amen, by the power of Amen, Amen only. That's it. The Most High. That's how we straighten ourselves. We ain't following no gods and fearing no devils. Amen is supreme, and Amen is alone, and we are supreme, and we will be alone as a collective in these future times to come. That's all we focus on. Anything else is immaterial. Schools for our children, we're going to do that anyway. We're going to build schools for our children, even if they little small buildings and whatnot, but we're going to have them. Even if we got to have little small buildings and whatnot, the bare necessities to teach them, we're going to have that. We're going to be able to feed ourselves. Since you Negroes claim I don't, Nuben don't be talking about the important matters at hand. What's more important than educating your children and being able to feed and clothe and house yourself? What's more important than that? What's more important than that? We're going to be able to do that in the Republic of Mentellect and then some. Are y'all talking like that? Are you doing that? We only been around since really roughly 2013. So you might as well say we've been around for 5 years. That's no time. 60 months officially. Y'all doing that? Y'all been around 20, 30 years. Some of y'all 40 years. Or even more. And y'all ain't accomplishing none of that. So don't tell me about what Nuben ain't talking about. I know what y'all not talking about and what y'all not doing. And what you putting emphasis on that's irrelevant. Because the people who put emphasis on irrelevant things will over time become irrelevant. Let me take a call. 424. Oh, you went out, 424. All right. People calling and hanging up. Okay. Like I said, the people who put things put energy into irrelevant things, they're going to be irrelevant. There's nothing more relevant than the mind and the extension of mental power. There's nothing more relevant than that. There's nothing more relevant than a community, a collective of men and women, real men and real women raising real families coming together for, of, and by each other. There's nothing more relevant than that. Y'all ain't talking like that. You talking about reading some old, outdated, ancient books about some characters in some damn book somewhere. That's what you want to do, because a lot of y'all got the minds of the children. We had a certain person, former person, member, put up a damn cartoon character on their wall in replacement of a real flag we put up. We had them put up. That just shows you the mindset of the people. They rather put up cartoon characters because they got the minds of children. They rather put up cartoon characters. They'd be about the real order, the real nation. That shows you the mentality of the people we're dealing with that come in here and play games. They want to be focused on irrelevant things. Amin's not dealing with those people who are focused on irrelevant things. The mental power is going to come to those who are focused on the real things. The realest thing you can be focused on is the mind and the collective, a.k.a. the community. That's the realest thing you can be focused on. And everything else is going to come. The power is going to come. The government, the society, the kingdom, everything that we want, the judgment is going to come. You understand that? That's going to come. It ain't come to y'all yet because y'all ain't come to that realization. You so-called people in these black organizations, you ain't come to that realization yet. Y'all still playing games. You still playing games. You're not focused on the reality of what we're going through here. Nuben Menkares and the Republic of Mentellect is right on time for the Mentellians, for a new identity, for a new flag, for the connection with our ascendants, the Amun race, for the raising of the mind as a community, a collective community of minds, the Mentellians, that we came with. We ain't coming with no identity that we got from some white man. We're not coming with the mentality of some idea that we got from the white man who told us we was African, that we was African American, that we was Negroes, that we was black. That's all that nonsense you got from the white man. That's another reason why y'all not gonna last. Y'all about to fade out. Because as the white man is fading, so is the philosophy that he done told you, that he done gave you about yourself, you black people. All that's going to fade away, man. It's fading away with the advent and the rise of the Mentellians and the realization that we are Mentellians of the brighter bronze race. Once that came on the scene, it was only a matter of time. You understand? It was only a matter of time. Since y'all was going to fade out, and as this generation, more and more younger people are coming into this and whatnot, who waking up, the ones who sincere, the ones who coming into this, they don't want to be black no more. They don't want to be Negroes no more. They don't want to be niggers no more. They don't want to be Africans no more. They don't want to be African Americans no more. You understand all that foolishness? They don't want to talk about Yahweh Shai coming. They don't want to talk about drinking wine on a damn spaceship with Yahweh Shai, on that nonsense y'all talking about, drinking that good wine with Yahweh Shai. All that damn foolishness. You understand? They raising themselves up in the name of the Lord. They raising themselves up as the chosen, the real chosen, not the fake chosen. Not the fake chosen. A lot of people claiming to be chosen, but they really fake ones. They ain't choosing nothing, but they ain't doing nothing but choosing to be niggas. I'll take this call. 424.
Hey, I just had a quick question. Have you ever heard of Hidden Power University?
Who?
Power University.
No.
All right. It's like a black organization or so-called black organization. They've been teaching a lot of things as well, but definitely not as in-depth as you. One of the things I have against them is they just accept anybody that's black. They don't care. As long as you're black, they accept you. And, I can't be a part of anything that accepts all black people.
No, well, that's why they're not going to be around long, because they still got this whole, they playing the skin game. Oh, we all the same. No, we not all the same. We not all the same. We're supposed to be divided mentally. And we divided mentally, if we not divided mentally, then we're going to fall. You're going to have certain people on a higher level mentally, and you're going to have some people on a lower mental. Unfortunately, the mass majority of our people are on a low mental slope. So we got to cut our ties with them.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy who runs it, his name is Nazir Ra or whatever. They based down in Atlanta, but he's a pretty smart brother, I think he shouldn't be accepting all black people with his organization. They're going to bring it down, But he's teaching a lot of good stuff over there. But I wasn't sure if you heard of it or not.
I heard of him before. I never heard of his organization. I'm not familiar with it. I heard his organization.
Right.
Yeah. But like I said, he taking all black people in there, so he playing the skin game. And then, like I said, I don't know him. Right. I don't know him personally. I ain't never seen nothing from him. I heard he had videos up there, but I ain't gonna go into whatever. But it's usually a reason why when you got people who take every black person, you already know what that is.
Yeah.
You know what that is, because I'm pretty sure all them black people equal green dollars. Right?
Exactly.
There you go. That's why.
That's true.
You want to know
they're gonna bring it down too.
People. Just like the church. They ain't turning nobody away. You can come in there and be a faggot, a lesbian. You can come in there and be anything as long as you got money. As long as you can put that money in the plate. That's the motivation for taking any kind of black person, not having no laws, no rules, no order. Like I said, you take them kind of people because that's money. Now, people accuse me of being all about money, then how come I don't take them kind of people in? My organization, the Republican Mentellect, this community would be 5 times bigger if I took everybody. And I say it's all for black people, right or wrong.
That's true.
See? Yeah.
Hey, and also, do you think that Malachi Z. York do you think he'll ever be released from prison, or do you think he'll be there for the rest of his life?
I don't know. See, at this point, it don't even matter. Why I say that, and I'm being real, it don't matter because Dr. York already did his job already. He already taught what he had to teach.
Yeah.
He ain't got nothing else to teach. So whether that man, if that man dies in prison, whether he come out, he's an old man. He already did his job. The Amen being protected him for the time that he taught, and that's it. Somebody else is new on the scene right now. It's all about Mentellect now. It's not about nothing else.
Why is Amen allowing him to suffer in prison like that?
Well, he's not suffering. He's not suffering. Why I say that is because, again, if they saying that, you saying the man is suffering because he don't have the luxuries he used to have, that's not suffering. You know what I'm saying? Because when he was out here in the world having to deal with Negroes slandering him, calling him a child molester, accusing him of all kinds of stuff, that was suffering. That man get the rest now. He's somewhere in jail, somewhere resting, sleeping, sleeping. He ain't got to worry about people pestering him and accusing him of stuff. He's sleeping, he resting, he getting his food and whatnot. He ain't suffering. He actually getting a damn vacation, a long one, but it's a vacation. I don't mean to say it like that, but let's keep it real.
Yeah, I'm one of the people that personally believe that he was set up on those charges. They had to get rid of him because he was starting a pretty big community down there in Georgia. I mean, he had pyramids.
That man been doing it. He was doing that for years. He was doing that for years. That's old. He was doing stuff in Brooklyn. Malachi York was putting it down for over 40 years, brother. And they just got to him at the end of his time. But listen, I gotta go, brother. I got like 3 minutes. Thank you for calling. You call back Monday. Yeah. Take care.
Thank you.
Let me go ahead and read these questions. Why will a Republican Mentellect go further than all of these black groups? Because we focused on the real issues at hand and removing them, and that is the mental problem. We're not taking messed up black people, mentally dysfunctional black people. We moving them out the way and moving forward with the bright race, the brighter bronze race. All right, and we're going to produce that in our children. Have black people outgrown these groups? Yeah, they have. They have. That's why black people going into a state of degeneracy right now. And they following all kinds of degeneracy because they ain't fitting into these groups anymore. Are black people going to be a reality in the future? Nope. I told you what's going to come to replace black people is this neutral race or this mixed race, this mulatto race. All right? What is the real purpose of the black organizations? Basically to keep you black, keep you in that state of powerlessness, to keep you in that state of rotation around the same things over and over and over again with no solution in sight. That's what all they did. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. What's next for the black race? Destruction. Destruction. And the freeing of the bright race. Raw and uncut. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and close this out in the name of Amen, by the power of Amen. In Amen we trust, in Amen we thank, and Amen we continue forward forever. Hail Amen, hail the Mentellians in the Republic of Mentellect. Good night.
It's the Republic of Mentellect, rising out the black race to the bright race, out the black race to the bright race. It's the Republic of Mentellect, black race to the bright race. If it's hail Amen, then it's hail us. They tried everything just to spell us. Fed us religion, gave us fake gods. Through all of that, we beat the odds. Now we coming together under one flag. Colors red, gold, and blue. Superman, Superwoman, that's me and you. The infinite capabilities that